Welcome to Zero Booze Lovely Views, where I'm learning to swap hangovers for horizons. Today I'm walking from Bourne End to Slate Meadow along the old Bourne End to High Wycombe railway line. It's a peaceful green corridor now, but just over 50 years ago, steam trains and later diesel trains were rattling through here every day. As you walk along today, it's really hard to imagine that this was once a busy branch line. The railway opened in 1854 and linked Bourne End with High Wycombe, carrying commuters, goods and furniture from the famous chair-making industry that made High Wycombe known as the furniture capital of England. Sadly, passenger services ended in 1970, and much of the track was lifted soon afterwards. And nature has slowly reclaimed it, turning it into one of Buckinghamshire's nicest walking routes. Today there's something extra special happening at Slate Meadow. Oxford Archaeology are holding an open day to show people what they've discovered before the new homes are built here. I've got to say, this is one of the most interesting open days I've ever been to, because it's a bit personal, but this place actually means quite a lot to me. Back in the 1990s, when I was a teenager, I came here to protest against plans to build houses. At the time, we were trying to save the area, and children's TV presenter Andy Peters even came along to interview us. I never imagined that I'd be back here years later, looking at archaeological discoveries that have delayed the development for a completely different reason. The dig has uncovered evidence that people were living here around 10,000 years ago during Britain's Mesolithic period. That's thousands of years before Stone Age. Archaeologists have found working flint tools, animal bones with butchery marks, and evidence that hunter-gatherers repeatedly returned to this riverside landscape. It's really amazing to think that these aren't just random stones. Each flint blade was carefully shaped by striking flint with another stone or antler to produce razor-sharp edges. Flint can actually be sharper than many of modern day steel scalpels. One thing that I learnt today that really surprised me was why these things survived. Thousands of years ago, the River Wye regularly flooded this valley. Those floods buried the ancient ground beneath layers of mud, sealing the artefacts under like a time capsule. Normally, ploughing and weather destroy prehistoric sites, but here they've remained hidden for many years. This discovery has delayed the building work for a few years, and hopefully they'll keep discovering more so that it will be delayed even further, because I don't think anyone round here is in favour for even more houses, especially when it merges villages together. Today I took along a Kopparberg Pear non-alcoholic cider to try. I've drunk the alcoholic versions of these before, and they normally make me really bloated, and it just doesn't sit well with my stomach. I think they're just very, very sugary, which doesn't really agree with me. But this one was much lighter and crisper than the standard Kopparberg. It still had the fruity flavour that the brand is known for, but it's just less syrupy and easier to drink on a warm day. The fruit flavour isn't quite as full-bodied as the original versions, and it's definitely missing that alcoholic kick. And there can be a slight artificial flavour in the aftertaste that I think. You've also got to be careful because these are 140 calories per can, so they are quite high. So I wouldn't be able to indulge in too many of these. But all in all, it's a nice pear drink.